guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. My name's Olivia and I'm so excited to have you and I hope you enjoyed this video. Today's video is all about my New Year's resolutions, what my goals are for the year ahead, and also what I learned in 2016. I love that so many people are talking about what their goals are for the next year ahead of us, but we're also talking about what we learned in the past year. I know that 2016 is one of those years that has kind of become like the end of a joke. A lot of people are joking about how terrible it was, and yes, there were a lot of bad things that happened, but I like to focus on what the positives were, what I learned from it, and what I want to take with me into the next year ahead. Because if you enter one year focusing on how awful the one before it was, you're just bound to have a negative outlook on life from the very beginning. So I like to think about the good things that happened in 2016 so I can start 2017 off on the right foot. So in this video, I'll talk about a few New Year's resolutions that I have. I only have like 4 or 5 of them, and then also some of the key points and key things that I learned in the past year. Now, normally I am not one to do New Year's resolutions. I actually don't even like to say that I believe in them. Like every year when people ask me, I'm always like, no, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I'm not gonna set any. And the only reason why I say that is because I think that they can put a lot of pressure on people. We all know that a lot of times it's really hard to keep your resolutions. And also I think that a resolution is something that is like a solution. It's something that you have resolved. But to me, it's more about setting goals and things you want to accomplish rather than tell yourself that no matter what, you are going to do this thing, because it just puts a lot of pressure on you and that can make it harder to accomplish. Or if you don't accomplish it, then you can be hard on yourself about that, and that's no fun. So I like to set goals for myself, and I like to think about things I want to accomplish in the year ahead, and then they seem more achievable to me rather than saying these are my resolutions, these are what I have to do. I like to say these are things I would love to get done, and that way when I do get those things done and I do accomplish those goals, then it's a little bit more of a rewarding feeling versus like I've accomplished something that I had to do anyways. You know what I mean? So like I was saying, I don't typically believe in New Year's resolutions, but this year as I found myself thinking about 2017 and the things that I want to accomplish and the goals that I have for myself, I found that I had like 4 or 5 solid points that were on my list. So I figured I would do a video like this and talk about them. I'm considering them resolutions just for the sake of easiness when talking to people about them, but for me they're more about like goals I want to achieve and things I want to accomplish in the year ahead. So when I was thinking about this video, I actually made a list. I'm super organized, especially towards the beginning of the year. I'm all about like to-do lists and planners and things like that, and that's for a separate video. But when I was thinking about this video and things I wanted to cover, I did make a list of the things that kind of summarize 2016 for me. So a couple of the things I did in 2016 to me that stood out as high points were I went ziplining for the first time, which was super fun. I had been skydiving before, but I had not been ziplining, and so that was really fun and just like exciting for me. I got to visit home twice. I'm originally from Ohio, and I got to go back to the East Coast and see family and friends there twice this year, which was really nice. My trips home always keep me so like just well balanced. I feel like, you know, you can get kind of tied up into the stresses of life, and when you have a trip to go see family, it just kind of resets you, and so those were essential for me this year, and they were great to see everybody. I grew my channel to almost 8,500 followers, which is crazy to me. When I started this, I really didn't think anybody would be interested. It was more like a bucket list thing that I wanted to do, and I definitely have a lot of goals for this channel in the year ahead, but just looking at like where I've come so far, it's just crazy to me. I appreciate all of you guys so much. I love doing this. It's such a fun hobby for me. So yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Just send out that thank you. But that's one of the highlights for me this past year, as well as everything I've gotten to do on this channel so far. I wrote that I was lucky to form meaningful friendships with people. I prayed a lot. I said thank you a lot. I started eating vegan as much as possible, starting with my 30-day challenge last spring, which now that we're into the new year, I am starting that again permanently. I'm trying to just do only vegan. My body feels so good when I'm eating vegan, so I'm just trying to do that permanently. For any of you guys wondering, I didn't keep up with it as much as I should have through the holidays just because we were traveling a lot and we were in Texas and there was queso, and it's hard to get away from it when you're there for 10 days. But now that I'm back, I am like goal-oriented, and that is one of my goals for 2017. I wrote, I took huge steps in building my self-confidence. I let go of anger that I had due to unfortunate events that had happened in the past. I sought help when I needed it, and I helped others when they did, which made me feel really good. And then a couple of the down points as well that I think are more learning points for me. I lost my grandfather in 2016, and I worked so hard that my feet bled at one point. So those are just a couple of like the downer points, but they are good opportunities to learn from and things that are meaningful to me, so I wrote those down to think about as I enter the next year. So those were just some of the things that stood out to me about this past year. Now I'm gonna touch on the 4 or 5 key points that I have for my goals for 2017, what my like New Year's resolutions are. And as I'm talking about those resolutions, I'll talk about what I learned in 2016 and why the things I learned made me want to make those resolutions and how I'm going to apply the things I learned to the year ahead. So my first New Year's resolution is to get out of the house and work more. So I work from home and then I do this on the side, so I'm constantly just at home. I get out and I travel a lot, but as far as like actually getting out of the house, I don't get out of the house that often, at least not as much as I should. And I know that I concentrate and I focus better and I'm better at what I do when I do it outside of the house. So one of my major goals is to get out of the house, to focus, work, whether it's work or this or whatever I'm doing. I just want to get out of the house more. I'd like to go at least like 3 times a week somewhere out of here, either to my husband's office to work or a coffee shop, or I can go down to the beach. I mean, I live in Southern California, so there's a lot of amazing locations around here. So it's one of my like biggest goals is to take advantage of those locations while I have them and to get out of the house and work more at other places that are not my couch. Number 2 is really important to me and it's a little more personal. I want to get better in 2017 about not taking things to heart and not taking things so personally. I am a Cancer, so I'm super emotional and I do take things personally a lot. So it's like when I get negative comments on here or I get stupid people on here just, you know, saying nonsense, it gets to me and I try not to let it. And granted, I feel like I'm still pretty new at this and maybe that's just like part of the game. And I know the reality of it is that I have like 90% loyal, loving, friendly, like just down-to-earth normal subscribers. You guys are amazing and I love interacting with you through the comments and I love talking to you guys so much, and I feel like I've got this like nice little group of friends on here, which is awesome to me. And then but occasionally you do get those like really just nasty, unnecessary comments, and throughout the last couple months, I've been trying to get better about just simply deleting them. I think at first, I have a natural tendency to be kind of like a Chihuahua or like my Pomeranian, for example. I like to think it's like I'm sweet on the outside, or at least I try to be, and then on the inside, I can be a little, I'm like a Sour Patch Kid, honestly. Like I'm sweet at first and then I get sour. So at first when I started getting those comments, I felt like every single one I had to be like, hey, listen here, let me tell you. And I do still get those occasional ones where I feel like I have to stand up and defend myself, but I'm trying to get better about simply just deleting and forgetting the bad comments. And I notice that when I do that, if I just delete them and put it out of my mind, that I feel better. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't stay with me. It's not there for me to see. It's not there for other people to see and to put that negativity out there. I'd rather just like cut it, not allow it, not tolerate it. And I feel better when I do that. So I've been practicing that like the last couple months, and throughout 2017 I really like want to stay strict to that. Like there's a difference between constructive criticism and just like all out nastiness, and I'm open to any kind of constructive criticism because that's how we grow and we develop and we better ourselves. But I don't want to allow people to come to my page and just like spread negativity. So one of my goals for 2017 is to get better about just like simply deleting and forgetting negative comments, but then also just not allowing bad feedback, whether it's, you know, work-wise or YouTube-wise or friend-wise or life or family, whoever gives it to you. I just want to not let life get to me as much as I did in 2016. And I didn't a lot. It's not like this past year was terrible for me because of that. It's just that that's one of the points, the areas of opportunity I know I have, is to get better about not taking things so personally and not taking things to heart, because I am the type to hear bad feedback, read a nasty comment, and I'll think about it like all night long until I go to sleep, and the next day I feel better. But until I go to sleep, it is with me and it's bothering me. So I want to get better about that. I was talking to my husband about it, and I think this is one of the things that I took away from 2016, and the way he worded it was that, you know, because I was like, I feel like I should stop doing this because people don't like it, I feel like blah blah blah, and he was like, no, cater your life to those who empower it and cater your life to those who better you. Don't change your life for the people who are negative or for the haters, because then you're changing your life and you're catering it to the wrong people. And I think he worded it a lot more like eloquently than I did, but I think that's a really, really smart sentiment. Is I want to make this channel and my life in general, I want to make it catered to those that love me and those that support me, not those that do the opposite. So that's just my number 2, probably my most important goal for 2017, is to not take things so personally, not take things to heart, brush it off my shoulder, move on, and do things for those that love me and support me, and don't dwell on those that don't. So the third goal I have is focused on this YouTube channel. I want to get better about my timing and how quick I am with putting content out. I am a very busy person. This isn't what I do full time. I have a full-time job and I'm in school and I do a bunch of stuff on the side. So sometimes I can let life take over and then it will take me like weeks to get out a video that I had been planning weeks before that. And I want to get better about that because by the time I put the video out, it's kind of irrelevant, or you guys have seen it elsewhere, or it's just not, you know, I'm not as passionate about it. I want to be better at putting content out immediately. As soon as you guys request something, I want to film it the next day and get it out for you immediately. And you know, I don't pre-film videos right now. I'll film maybe like 2 at a time and then put them out every couple days. But I want to get better about just like, as soon as I have something on my mind, as soon as I have a video topic I want to do one on, I want to film it immediately and put it out. That way it's fresh content, it's stuff that you guys are interested in, and it's stuff that I'm passionate about. And I just think that's so important because I noticed that that was something I slacked on in 2016. And so I want to get better about that for 2017. So it's fresh, new ideas for you guys, things that you are pumped to see. So I touched on it a little bit earlier, but number 4 is that I want to eat vegan. Last spring I did it for 30 days straight and I felt amazing, and then ever since then I kind of eat vegan as much as possible. And basically what that means is just that if I go to a restaurant and I can order my meal without cheese, I'll do that. Or, you know, I don't drink milk or have eggs, or I barely have yogurt. If I do, I try and get like Kite Hill or something like that. It's just that very occasionally I will have cheese if it's like a family event or the holidays, or if it's a special dinner that we're going out on, something like that. But I want to get better about even cutting that out. I'm not a crazy strict person. I'm not going to get down to like the wine I drink or anything like that, because I think everything's okay in moderation. And for me, it's not about allergies, it's more about preference. So, and yeah, eventually I would like to get there because really I'm doing it for the animals. So I would like to get there, but as I'm starting this new year, trying to be vegan 100%, I'm not gonna get down on myself about every little thing. I wanna get the food like nailed down first, and then I'll get into the rest of my life. But it is like one of my goals for 2017 is to eat vegan completely, because right now I probably do it like 70-80% of the time, and I know that my body will feel 1000% better if I just do it all the time. So that's number 4. And then number 5 just kind of summarizes it all, and it's to be my healthiest and happiest self. I think it's just so important to carry yourself in a way that you're proud of, to maintain your body and fuel it with healthy foods the way we should, the way we naturally were supposed to. You know, I want to cut processed food out. I want to cut hate out of my life. I want to cut negativity out. I cut a lot of toxic people out of my life in 2016, and it has like benefited me so much. And I want to do that in every facet of my life, whether that's people, whether that's the hobbies I have, the alcohol I drink, the food I eat, whatever it is. I just want to be my overall healthiest self and therefore happiest self, because I personally am happiest when I'm healthiest. I want to get in the best shape of my life. I want to go to the gym every single day if possible. I used to do it and I felt amazing. I've mentioned a couple times how I was in a really bad car accident a couple years ago, not a couple, like last year. But before that, I was in the best shape of my life. Like, I was in the gym every single day for an hour and a half. Not saying you have to do that to be in the best shape of your life, but for me, I was. And I felt so good. And ever since then, it put me through a lot of physical setbacks. And so I haven't quite gotten back to that level of fitness again yet. But I would like to get there in 2017. I'd like to get my diet completely under control. Like I said, cutting out animal products and, you know, just eating many more like whole foods and natural foods. And I would like to be at my peak fitness. That's my goal. So overall, I just want to be my healthiest and my happiest self, my most well-rounded self, and my most balanced self, if that makes sense. And I can go more into detail on that in another video, but that is just my number 5 resolution for 2017. Okay, so this video is getting pretty long already, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what some of your resolutions are, because these are just the top few things that came to my mind, but I would love to hear what you guys have on your like to-do list for 2017, what your goals are, what your resolutions are. Let me know. I love that we all can like kind of come together and inspire each other. And again, I can go more in depth on things in another video, but these were just some of like the quick things that came to mind for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helped, or you took something away from it. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting my channel and for entering 2017 with me. I'm so excited for this next year. Some amazing things are in the works and I am pumped. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.